What is good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming to you guys here with a post-commentary duel video. You have your boy piloting Zoodiacs on the right, and then our man Caleb piloting Monarchs on the left. So fun story about this locals, guys. I ended up forgetting my decks at home, so I had to play practically a handtrap.zodiac.deck. And I end up not opening the best, as you know, if you play a bunch of hand traps and traps, you just sometimes don't see any Zodiac cards, so I have to sit 2 and pass. It was a good turnout altogether, but remember, guys, if you guys enjoy these type of videos, please remember at the end of the video to give the video a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. Also, guys, think about hitting that join button down below and join the crusade. We are just a merry bunch of crusaders that love to pillage the meta, and you just get some awesome perks and rewards, including a member-only discount that allows you to get that mat, that beautiful Equimax play mat, for 10% off. But if you guys want to and you guys can't join the channel, you guys can use the code COG5 to get 5% off your order already. So hop over there and get it now. We actually have a new mat coming out on Hallows Eve, the night before Halloween, which is just going to be phenomenal. It's going to complete the kind of the series, which is going to be, I'm going to start releasing mats in 2-part series, which I think will be really cool. So we actually have a question about Gamma. Since the trap activates in graveyard, it's not treated as a trap effect, or it's not treated as a trap on the field, so I was curious if Gamma would work. And this is kind of a fun local, so it's okay. Like, we're playing to win, but at the same time we're still trying to, like, I have no clue how, like, Zoodiac or even some of the hand traps even work, to be honest with you. I know that Gamma hurts everything that I do, so why wouldn't it hurt anyone else, I guess. But we're seeing Vanity's Fiend being tribute summon, triggering off that return to grab him at Majesty. So it's back, like, just back in the day, we're seeing practically not even Monarchs, but Fiend beat down. So it's gonna be Vanities and Majesties just whooping me. But coincidentally, I do have a set imperm, but I do also happen to have, which I saw this card all the tournament, is this Harpy's Feather Duster, and that just practically clears out all the back row, prompting him to fire off whatever set he has, which happens to be Escalation. So he's going to end up getting out Majesties and Vanities. Coincidentally, though, I'm going to be able to hold out on stall out a little bit, because I know that I have ways to out the Vanities and the Majesties with with impermanence. So I'm just practically trying to see what I can do. I was kind of in this scenario waiting for him to mess up in a way, and I think, like, hindsight, you will see, like, where he messes up at, but in the end it really doesn't even matter. But we're going to see Tinky fire down these beautiful Tinkies. This entire deck is, like, worth more than my entire, like, my car, coincidentally. But huge shout out to my man Taylor for letting me borrow the deck and try to pilot it the best I can. Me just reading how busted that Fiend is. And Tinky, I think I'm going to try it. Like, it took me, like, I didn't even really understand how to play this deck. I mean, like, as people think it's pretty easy, it's like Dryden and go Burr. It's actually not. There's some combos you can do, and there's some that you can't. But I finally, by round 3, understood how to do the 2-card, I think it's Thoroughblade and Ram, or the 1-card Rapier combos, so to make Mega Clops, which is super powerful, which you'll actually get to see in this video, so in this duel. But here was his first mistake. I believe if he actually would have left the Majesties on field, he actually would have won. But by him tribute summoning, trying to fire off the Erebus, allows me to strike him, which means all he has left is a Vanity's Fiend, which I happen to also have a impermanence waiting for the next turn. It totally spaced me, guys. I apologize. I'm right off of work. There's gonna be like a late edit, but he's going to attack into Ram, destroying it, and I kind of imperm the Fiend, and then I decide to go off normal summoning Thoroughblade to pitch a card, to draw a card. I think I pitch a card. I'm kind of contemplating if I want to pitch a card or not. Do I? I don't. So I just go right into Borbo, just because it's just you don't really need it. I'd go into Chalkonite to bring back the Ram. I then go into Dryden, detach from Dryden, popping the Ram to bring back out the Chalkonite, and then on top of the Dryden, I go into Tiger Mortar, use Tiger Mortar's effect to equip, it doesn't really matter, the Borbo, then I use Chalkonite's effect to bring back the Dryden, link into Mega Clops. Oh, this card is straight busted against almost any matchup except for Orcust and this matchup, believe it or not. And there's a few other matchups that Mega Clops would definitely not be good in, like Satellar Knights. Konami, if you watch this, don't forget about Satellar Knights in your Section 10 when you need your Satellar Knight support. Please, Konami. But I do make a misplay here. I kind of like, I should attack into the Vanity's Fiend and then special summon from my graveyard after that. However, I just decided to use the Fiend to my advantage, considering that I have the bigger monster. I can out the Fiend whenever I want to, so I was hoping to use Vanity's Fiend to kind of stop the idea, but he actually opens Idios, tributes the, tries to tribute using Idios as one tribute, but I tell him that I like Aether is two, so he tributes off Vanities and the Idios to bring out Aether, sending, I believe, Pantheism, and just practically anything else he wants. This deck is so consistent, guys. Like, I know in like the past 2 videos I've practically preached how good this deck is, but this deck is super consistent. I mean, yes, you know, it is, you will have a brick hand every now and then, but, you know, like, the deck is at full power, and it is, I mean, it took second place not only at this locals that we have here, but also locals in the remote duel over in Europe by Lithium. So, I mean, do take that into consideration. Like, the deck is not to be slept on. Like, the consistency is there, and the power is there. Something that I also noted that I've like tried to tell people is that the deck does the exact same thing that Dragon Link does. It rips 2 cards from your hand, or has the potential to rip 2 cards, and can lock you from the extra deck. Which, I mean, if Dragon Link is a meta because of that, I mean, Monarchs have to be like somewhere close to, right? He banishing Pantheism to kind of revealing 3 Tenacities and a Stormforth, and I always go for the Stormforth, because I'm not going to let him deck them with Tenacity. I want him to potentially draw into as many dead cards as he possibly can. But Megaflop's kind of holding the ground here. I know that I have to make a sudden push or I'm going to lose because of Stormforth, because Stormforth affects the player. And this was a long duel, guys. I actually had to speed this up ×2 just to get it into be like the 14-minute range. But remember, guys, if you guys like that Crusadia playmat, if you guys don't follow me on social media like Twitter or Facebook, or don't even follow the community channel, we actually have pictures of the mat in progress, of the new mat coming out. I think it's going to be remarkable, so you guys should probably check that out and consider getting your Equimax one now or hold out, because just something, we got some big things coming to the website. Web store probably isn't the correct term, not a website, but the web store coming soon. But I'm going to attack into the Aether, triggering the Megaplops' effect, allow me to revive the Dryden and equip the Aether. However, I think I make a minor misplay. This is probably me not knowing. I don't even know if it's a quick effect, but he's going to fire off Stormforth, excuse me, allowing him to tribute my monster. So in response to the Stormforth, I'm actually going to chain and pop the Prime Monarch. Sorry, guys, totally spaced that card's name. And then once it destroys, the Aether fizzles, and I think that was me thinking that Aether is a hard once per turn. I'm like, all right, now this is going to be pretty good. However, both of us reading Aether is not a hard once per turn. So he's just going to be able to use Aether again. Another one. And he's just going to be able to bring out the Prime Monarch once more. And since Stormforth was not negated, he can just still tribute both my monsters in the same turn. Just again showing how busted this deck is made, and pretty much showing why this deck was such a powerful force when it was first released, because of just the bomb interactions that it has. But remember, guys, like I said, if you guys want to support the channel, give us a like and subscribe at the very end. Also, if you guys want to join our team of Crusaders, hit that join button. Be really appreciated. Sadly, my PC, or not even my PC, my laptop that I use to make all these videos and do some editing has finally crashed on me, so I got to figure out something that I got to do in the next week or so. I'll have an announcement or something like that, so stay tuned for that, because I want to get a better recording. I'm like always trying to improve my quality and my like recording so that I can give you guys better quality content, and I think it's time to upgrade myself and get a something that allows me to live stream a lot better, because I do enjoy live streaming. That's why we didn't have a live stream this past Tuesday, because my laptop decided to. It was an old laptop. It was beaten and bruised. It was knocking on what's that song? I forget the artist. Knocking on Heaven's Door. But I'm going to end up using Zoodiac combo to equip the Whiptail. I'm going to fire off the Whiptail to equip to the Trident, and then fire off the Trident, detaching the Whiptail. He's actually going to hit me with a Cosmic, which is kind of problematic. But he's going to fire off Karaz here, and I think there's a misplay. He pokes in for Karaz, and I scoop it up, but actually I don't think he could have swung with Karaz because of the draw effect. But, you know, hindsight, that's my fault and his fault for not. It's my fault for not reading cards and him for not knowing. But I end up going first again, and almost just like, it's almost like a mirror match, or like, you know, like a deja vu of round one. I end up having to set 2 and pass, and that's just difficult. He's firing off Pantheism, which Pantheism is just absurd. A pot of practically a trade-in for the deck, and then it's like a for sure search. So that's why I have an Ash in my hand. I choose not to stop the draw, because draws are up to, you know, random. It's not for sure he's going to draw, but what is for sure is what you can banish with the Pantheism. So I decided to Ash here, prohibiting that, but he's going to fire off Adia. One of my favorite cards in the entire deck is Adia. The artwork is just beautiful, but it's going to be met with an impermanence. He's going to activate Domain, and then I'm debating if I want to answer the Domain yet or not, but he's confirming that the Imperm was in the center column. I think I have a set Solemn Judgment, so this actually will be my downfall, is this Judgment. And my since I never played trap decks, like my knowledge of Judgment and stuff like that was very rusty, but I'm setting another card and passing, and he looks like he has kind of a pretty I can't really see as he's going to normal summon another Adia, and I'm going to perm the second Adia, guys. This is Adia Beatdown, which I guess if I'm going to lose, it might as well go out in style, right? And this is probably some form of style. So I'm going to take the 16. He's going to end up setting another card. I draw for turn, and I forget what I draw, to be honest with you. I know I have Judgment set. He's going to activate Aether on my turn, and this is where my downfall is. I attempt to Judgment because Aether is a tribute summon, but it's an effect, so I can't technically Judgment. And lucky for us, we had a Judge standing right by, so he was able to answer that. And which is very good on his part, but this major misplay, which is to kind of showcase you guys, do not fire off stuff unless you're for sure, because by him now knowing that I have a Judgment, he can replay around whatever he can just make his plays differently, knowing what that Judgment is. And not saying that that is the reason I lost this duel. The reason I lost this duel was because my hands were so bad, but it definitely put the ballpark in his favor. And as a good duelist, you want to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. So like the Monarch player Caleb is going to capitalize on my mistake of preemptively showing this Judgment. So definitely try not to make as many mistakes as you can, guys. And then if your opponent does make a mistake, capitalize on that. But we're going to see him adding Thestalos off of the Aether. And I'm going to set a card, almost T-set and pass, but Thestalos also being one of my favorite Monarchs of all time, because it's a hand rip, which is totally... Hand knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. But we see Tenacity being revealed, or I think he's banishing Pantheism to reveal me a Tenacity, 3 Tenacities. Gotta love this deck. You guys will never guess what he got off that. It was a Tenacity. But he's going to Tenacity, reveal the Thestalos that he summoned off the Aether. I don't have any sort of answer whatsoever. I think in my hand I have... Now take note, guys, this deck was kind of built on a whim. I do believe I have Gamma and stuff like that in my hand. But as you guys can see, like, I'm not seeing a lot of Zoodiac cards. But we're also going to see the Prime Monarch come out, because the Prime Monarch is a very busted card in its own sense. But we're going to see Stormforth activated here, and this is where kind of like he's going to capitalize on my misplay. He's added Stormforth because he knew I had Judgment. He knew I'd be forced to activate Judgment on the Stormforth. And Stormforth is a hard one to return, but Judgment negates the activation, meaning that he can fire off the second one, which is horrible for me. But he's going to end up treating my monster. I'm going to Ogre the Thestalos, but Thestalos is still going to get its effect. He's going to rip an Ibriu from my hand and burn me for damage, which is just more than enough for game. So even though I won the dice roll, and it was just this Monarch player was just a train the entire day, guys, I was just destined to lose. And he just steamrolled everything. So yeah, so this was remember, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, to like, comment, and subscribe. And for the most part, guys, I kind of enjoy the Zoodiac deck. I will probably post a deck list. If any guys are interested, just comment down below and let me know. And we're just doing quick math here, kind of rounding out at the end of the video. I took a swift 2-0, and I even won the dice roll, guys. But remember, guys, this is Charles from Team COG, signing out.